So for those of you who are single, what does that actually look like? So you said you've been single for 1 year, and we'll go around the table asking those of you who are single, are you currently talking to anybody? Any men, women in the picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Multiple?
Yeah, just one.
Just a guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's his name and address?
That's personal.
And social security number.
Give me everything on this guy.
Mother's maiden name. So, how long have you been seeing him?
Well, we've been friends for like, am I too far? We've been friends for like, probably like 2 years now, but we started talking like seriously probably like a month ago or two.
Okay. Okay. And are you guys exclusive? Are you dating other people or?
Exclusive right now.
Exclusive.
That's a boyfriend.
Oh.
Not really.
Exclusive? It's the whole definition of boyfriend.
What
isn't it?
what does not really mean?
I mean, I don't know.
You just
Is
haven't
it-
said boyfriend yet?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Fair
Okay. All right.
We're just taking things how it goes.
I like that.
So you're single also. How does that look?
I go on dates. I have a favorite, and then there's like the other guys that are like they're farther away, you know.
So you have a roster, kind of?
I wouldn't call it a roster because they're dates, you know. They're not like hookups.
Oh.
So, but you are hooking up with your main guy or
I don't want
whatever.
to answer that.
You don't want to answer that? Why is that?
I'm worried about my digital footprint.
You're okay. So
What is digital footprint? Worried about digital footprint?
Yeah,
Like,
what are
if
you,
I-
in NFTs or something?
If I like wanted a job and then they search up my name and then I'm over here talking about a bunch of gross stuff.
gross
Oh.
stuff. Well, let me ask you a
Have
couple
you like
questions.
watched this podcast before?
I don't think
She
bosses-
requested, to be clear, I want to make it very clear to the viewers, she requested to be on. She DM'd us, so there's, okay.
I don't think your boss is going to care if you have sex.
I was gonna say, are you like applying to be a nun and like you can't have any previous history of sex, or like? Is
You
it
do
just-
realize this is a dating and relationship podcast where we talk about dating and what topics were you anticipating? Were you talking like collateralized
I know
debt?
it's
Hold
a-
on.
Oh.
Collateralized debt obligations? Like what did you anticipate we were going to talk about on the?
Sorry for interrupting.
It's fine.
I mean, there's like opinions that I have, and
Okay.
I said in advance that I wouldn't, and you guys were like, cool.
Well, it wasn't. You didn't precisely lay out what was and what wasn't.
We'll
I
see if
was
I get
Told
more
this was a
comfortable.
sports podcast.
I thought this was a job interview.
I'll feel it out.
Well, I'll just, okay, so you provided some pre-show notes to us, so I'm assuming the pre-show notes that you provided are fair game. So you said you have many crazy dating stories, like you dated influencers and billionaires.
Nice.
You're very opinionated. You can argue, but kind of have a unique stance. You think women I don't think women should work. That's what you said. Is that correct? Okay. You said you dated influencers and billionaires. Any influencers that you can reveal?
I think they wouldn't like that.
Can you tell us the
Not
genre,
super
like
crazy.
TikTok,
Fitness.
fitness?
Instagram.
And you said you dated billionaires, as
One,
in plural.
singular, sorry.
Okay, you use the plural in your messages here. So you dated a singular billionaire. Can you tell us what realm of industry he's in?
Real estate,
Real estate. How old is he?
30.
A 30-year-old billionaire. Okay, and he's in real estate. And you're 19? How old were you when you dated him?
18 is gross.
Why? Well, he was what, 29, and you were 18, right? You were an adult.
Yeah.
Why would that be gross?
I mean, my prefrontal cortex isn't developed.
So do you think women shouldn't vote at 18 then?
No.
So you can make political decisions that could lead to war, but you don't have the mental faculties to engage in consensual sex with another adult?
It's not really about that. I can form opinions about things that I read, but relationships are like in politics. Like I can read the news and understand that, but relationships are a lot more complicated.
So you
and it's-
you can vote to elect a representative that would send people to war to die. You can buy a firearm. You can join the military, but you don't feel like you can engage in a consensual romantic or sexual relationship with another adult?
You interrupted me.
Well, hold on. I'm the host of the podcast, therefore there's a higher conversational burden on me. So yes, I have a little more leeway to interrupt. Go ahead with your point.
I just meant because I was going to tell you my point.
Go ahead.
Interpersonal relationships are like a completely different realm. It's not just processing simple information and then making an informed decision. It's like, how do I explain it? I can't really explain it, but like I think it's totally different.
You can't explain your position?
You feel like he took advantage of you because he was older?
I'm not saying necessarily he did. I'm just saying I won't know how I feel about it until I'm older. It's feelings. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's feelings.
You called
Politics
it gross.
shouldn't involve feelings. It does sometimes, but it really shouldn't if you're voting for the right people. But I mean, in relationship, there's feelings. You know, like you can be manipulated.
Could I just ask, like, outside of the politics of it, like, why do you think it's gross? Was it gross because the age gap? Was it gross because he did things? You don't have to specify, but like, what was gross because?
Or was it gross because you
just
dated a
generally gross.
billionaire? What was in it for you?
I just think in general that like I mean, I was like a high schooler, you know.
So you were in high school.
I was, yeah, I was like naive. Like I didn't know. Like he could have been hurting me and I wouldn't have known. Until
Sounds
later.
like zero accountability to me, but
I just personally think it's kind of weird, like being 25, almost like 26. I personally wouldn't date an 18-year-old because there's a very big maturity gap. So like that could be a reason. So I think like in that way it's a little weird because I personally wouldn't date someone a lot younger than me. Just because like thinking back when I was 18, like I was not developed at all. Like I didn't know a lot of things that I do now.
I mean, men and
So,
women
like,
are very different.
that's
So
true. But
In
it's
what
still-
way are you gonna? In what way? Tell me what way.
What way we're
in terms
different?
of age. In terms of age for you.
Well, in terms of what they're generally attracted to, women in general tend to date up, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 years.
Right.
And we see this is evidenced by, for example, marriage statistics. Women typically will marry someone, I don't know what the exact average is, but typically the average age of marriage for women is younger than it is for men. Andrew, do you have anything for this?
Yeah, so you're kind of talking about...
Sorry. Hold on.
Boneman
Sorry, Andrew.
538 donated $200. Gross BC may have to hashtag #MeToo_victim those biles.
Okay, Boneman53. Okay, Boneman.
What does that mean?
Appreciate it.
I don't understand.
I have something about that though. It's like, so you were saying like you wouldn't, you remember what you were like, and you're thinking back like, well, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah,
I
very
wouldn't want to
mature.
date a young chick because we don't have interests that are the
Exactly.
same. I wouldn't. I don't even know what a lot of young women
It's
are
just very,
talking
like,
about
they're
most of
very
the time.
immature.
Yeah, I don't like it. However, I would imagine that a billionaire's motive of dating her is probably physical, right?
Probably.
He's not looking to engage with her about the thing like finance or technology or any of those things.
And
why is his motive gross to date her, but her motive to be with a billionaire is was he super hot? I mean, was this guy like what was the right? So your motive might have also been physical, but also you're bragging that he's a billionaire now, even though you found that it was gross then. So you guys just had a nice little trade there. That's all that was. I don't think it's gross. I don't think he's a piece of shit for wanting to date a young chick.
I think that everything that you said is correct, but I think it's still completely valid for her to look back on that and find
think
it
it's
to be
weird.
gross.
Yeah.
It's
don't think
completely
gross, I think a
valid.
little
It
weird.
can be all those things that you just said and still for her to
And
feel
I didn't
it's
judge her for it. I
gross.
just said, why is it gross? I asked why.
And- Andrew,
but when you say valid, what do you mean by valid? Like just how she feels about it? She can feel valid
just
about
asked
it,
her
or
why.
can't
I
she
used the
feel
word
valid
Hold on,
about
please
anything?
let him talk.
Yeah, can't
Sorry.
she feel valid about anything? Like what does that mean? That's
she's-
totally a meaningless statement.
No, if she's looking back at it, and I know there's like a source of like intimidation here. She's probably the youngest person here right now.
Well, hold on. What?
It's a little bit of an intimidation. I think we went around the table and you immediately started harping on the young girl who said
Well-
that she was uncomfortable with the billionaire.
Well,
And
hold on.
know
I
you're
don't like.
sensitive.
I do not like your the way you are painting this interaction here. I started with her. I asked
Yeah.
her what her status is.
And
You
you're like,
two are in
"Acceptable."
relationships.
He's going through.
I'm going around asking people to delve further into their
I think his feelings are valid.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I think everyone's.
I
feelings
think
are
you're
valid.
so right. There's some disagreement. You're so allowed.
Andrew,
to feel
did you
that
want to
way.
continue with?
Yeah, let me, sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you meant when you said it's valid. So if everything he says about this is true, you say, but you're just talking about her feelings in general, right? So how she feels, you think that that's going to be valid regardless of what the fact of the matter is?
Totally. I think there's a if someone is feeling a certain way, I think they're totally, if she's looking back at it and she's like, you know what, that was really gross, that made me feel really uncomfortable. It probably did feel gross and uncomfortable. Is that the situation at hand objectively? Who knows? But if that's how she feels personally, that's how she views the situation.
That's why we asked why.
And that's, you ask why.
Yeah,
And
just said, why do you feel
1000%.
gross? It
There's
wasn't a
nothing
judgment
wrong.
at all.
There's nothing wrong with you questioning it, and there's nothing wrong with her answering it. But I think that's it.
I feel like
Yeah, but you could see where the confusion would come in if we're trying to get to the fact of the matter. And instead of the fact of the matter, you kind of chime in with, what about her feelings, though? Well, we're just
It
trying to get
definitely
to the
did not
fact of the
say,
matter.
what about her feelings?
you guys are
That's why I
trying to
asked you
say-
specifically what you
guys
meant
are
by
trying
valid.
yeah.
And what you meant by valid was how she feels, right?
Where do I look when he's talking? Like, where is he?
Just go straight up.
Like you can hear me, so answer the question.
Look to the
You
heavens.
told me what
Look to the
valid
heavens.
meant, and valid just meant feelings, right?
Can I talk?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's your thing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
talk
to
for
speak on your
yourself.
behalf.
Also, I'm going to talk to her the same way whether she's 18 or 19.
And you
or what.
should.
Well, but you suggested maybe we shouldn't
So I can't.
because she's
Never,
a young girl.
Never once said that.
You said that he
Never
targeted
once-
on her because she's the youngest.
Okay, let me say,
I
can
definitely
talk?
think there is.
But I don't care what fucking age she is. I'm just
It's not because of age.
Yeah.
No, but I think
Talking
there
to
is a
her?
level of vulnerability that I think she has that most of us probably don't at the table, and you guys know that. Come on.
I feel like a lot of words are being put in my mouth from both sides, but I also agree with both sides, and I also think that
It's gonna be a long show, folks.
with this conversation, I think after hashing through it with you, I do kind of change my opinion a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I do kind of change my opinion a little bit after hearing your guys's. But I think that first of all, I didn't say uncomfortable, and so yeah, I think that's all I have to say actually.
Okay. All right. So you were dating a billionaire. How did you meet him? Was it a dating app?
Tinder.
Tinder. Okay.
A billionaire was on Tinder.
I know what. Yeah, it was crazy.
How do you
it
know
was
he
so
was
weird.
a billionaire? Did he have a Wikipedia page?
He had a literal row of mansions that his entire family lived in separate houses on.
Oh, he's got family wealth. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. He never.
Oh, so he's like a trust fund kid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
billionaires.
Wait. So okay.
And real estate.
So okay, and you met on Tinder. You were 18. He was 29 at the time.
30 and then 31.
Oh, okay. I see. And so how long were you seeing him for?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And given that he was a billionaire, did you kind of reap any benefits from that in terms of, was he kind of like a sugar daddy? Was it a sugar daddy thing kind of?
No, I never got any money, but it would just be fun stuff. I'd be like, it'd be fun right now? Air hockey. Immediately air hockey table, just wherever I am at the moment, is now there.
Isn't it, it's kind of amazing to me, like an 18-year-old girl is dating a billionaire. Like that's good for you. Just
Can we
that's,
go back to the air hockey thing real quick? But did you just say that your motivation was what was really cool about it was anywhere you could go, there would just be air hockey there for you?
No, I just think that's one of the interesting things. That wasn't the main draw. I'm not that air hockey focused, but
That's a great sound.
I'm just saying as far as perks go, it wasn't all perks. That wasn't why I was there, but as far as perks go.
Were you living with him?
No.
Okay. Would he take you on trips? Would you guys vacation together?
He did not talk to anyone or go anywhere. We went on local trips though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing. Yeah.
So you could have just been essentially dating an average dude. Like it was the same exact, your lifestyle didn't change in any way because you were dating a billionaire.
I think
Maybe
it-
his
I
house
think
was
it-
nice. I don't know.
I was just getting what I want on request is so fun.
Wait, what?
Getting what I want on request is so fun.
Like, what are some examples of that?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, first of all, air hockey.
Air
table.
hockey.
Air hockey,
Just
yep.
said.
I
Did
really
they
liked
just
alcohol
did they
at
just
the
carry
time.
around an air hockey table for you? Or?
No, I was just using that as an example.
Okay.
But I liked alcohol at the time. I could get that. Also, that's kind of weird that I was 18 and this dude's just like giving me as much liquor as I want.
Were you asking for?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's
Okay.
super weird. I'm just saying it's a little bit weird.
I certainly wouldn't advise men over 21 buying alcohol for.
It is illegal, actually, so it's a little bit weird.
Yes.
I think
feel
it's
like
gross.
this doesn't require billions of dollars, though. What are the billion
just-
dollar perks that you were getting?
Him being a billionaire sounds like it was totally secondary.
It was like one.
it didn't even.
It was like 1 billion. It wasn't like a million billion, you know?
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot of money.
Dang.
Yeah, it was like, it'd be like $7,000 hotel room. Or like a Bentley, and I'm allowed to drive it really fast.
Wait, so okay, you're 18, you dated a billionaire. How do you go from dating a billionaire to dating a broke college guy? Like, there's no going back.
God.
I don't
No,
think
my
you can go
standards are
back.
so high, it's really great for me. I actually cut off like so many people. Like, no one's allowed to be mean to me now.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
So after dating the billionaire, just so I'm clear, after dating the billionaire, now your standards are elevated to what?
It's not really about money.
Just the treatment, I guess?
But I mean, sometimes it's about money. If it was like, it's kind of like if you were to think of it entirely transactionally, there's like different aspects. There's attractiveness, there's like your ability to have sex, there's your personality, and then there's money, you know? So it's like, you have to have a certain number of some of those stats. You don't have to have all of them.
Okay. All right.
Well, I think it was valuable enough that like she gets to say she dated a billionaire. That's obviously a big thing, right, for someone.
Is that a flex?
Not, I mean,
Is it a
girls
flex? I
talk
don't
about
know.
it all the time. We're
I
talking
wasn't
about it on this podcast, so that's some sort of worth to that.
I wasn't trying to flex. You more just asked me a question, and I was like, this is interesting, so I answered with that.
I think I'm
No,
not
I
judging
wasn't-
you for it.
I wasn't saying you were trying to flex, but I don't know if it's a flex. Like, I one time dated a billionaire who I no longer see, and I also think it was gross. That's probably not like.
No, I think that you asked her, do you have anything interesting that you've done? And then she said, well, I dated a billionaire. And then how wasn't? She goes, well, looking back, it was gross.
I like that you're taught. Like, are you her lawyer or something? Like, are you
No.
her advocate? Hello.
No, I was just invested a lot
She
of
can
time
agree
in
with me.
this.
No, that's fine. So you also said that you actually going around the table on this really quick. Who here considers themselves a feminist? And we can delve into that a little later on in the show. But just going around the table, who's a feminist?
What exactly does like feminist mean? Like what exactly is like a feminist?
What
That's something a
exactly?
feminist would say.
No, it's a genuine question.
I think
That was
there's
So we would
levels
say
to
a good descriptor for this might be a push for an egalitarian society between men and women where both are seen as equals. That would be kind of a general state, the most generous that I could give for a definition of feminism.
I just think everyone should be treated equally. So I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's probably feminism.
Okay.
I guess.
No,
No, what?
No, she's not a feminist.
I wouldn't say I consider myself feminism. I think my train of thought kind of really ended during the second wave, and I think that we've kind of digressed into something that I can't really comprehend. I think in a lot of ways, I think I have a radical sense of feminism when it comes to like men becoming women, and I'm very sacred of I don't believe in birthing mothers. I believe in women being mothers, and if you're a trans woman, you are a trans woman. You're not a woman.
Well, in your
that
pre-show
sense.
notes to us, you stated you were a radical
feminist.
feminist.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, are you not a feminist? Are you a feminist?
So I think, like I said, in terms when when it comes to
Sorry. We'll,
Kinky Sprinkler donated $200. My sprinkler goes like this.
I have a sprinkler like this.
And comes back like this.
it's good. It's good.
I have that same
That's
sprinkler.
good. Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Go ahead. You were saying.
Yeah, I think in a very traditional sense, I think there's a lot of values of radical feminism that I agree with, that is aligned with. I don't agree with. Probably call me a TERF. Totally fine with that. OnlyFans. I'm very in sex work. I'm not comfortable by. So yeah, in those ways, yeah, definitely radical feminism. But in the way feminism is described nowadays, I can't appeal to it, no.
Well, what is the way it's described in modernity that you are so resistant to?
Man, I think a lot of femininity is lost in modern day feminism. I think there's a push for there was a push in the second wave for equality, that women should be able to work if they wanted to. They should be able to own house and have their own credit card if they wanted to. What we have now is that women are kind of expected to almost behave like men. And that's just where I just don't feel comfortable, because the reality is that women, we will never be like men. And we should never aspire to be like men. And I think that's kind of where everything's being pushed with feminism. We're not equals. There are ways that men are better, and there are ways in which women are better. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's something wrong.
So if I were to ask you about policy and say, well, what kind of policies are you talking about that you're actually resistant to? Because it sounds like what you're talking about are the effects of already pre-existing feminist policy, which has led to this current state.
Yeah.
So if that's true, then wouldn't you be resistant to the first and second wave feminism, which led through policy to the current state that you now resist?
That's a really good question. It's a very good point. I mean, how did we get here if it weren't for the first and second wave? You know, we can always argue that the sexual evolution completely so sorry.
You're fine.
I think that you can totally argue that a sexual evolution completely dismantled like what it is to be a woman, and it radicalized a lot of things for us. So it's such a good question. You can.
So what's the
right.
answer?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know what the answer is? So you don't think that the thing that you're the most resistant to right now, which clearly led from the policies that you just got done saying you supported, isn't a thing which now you should maybe push back against and say, well, those policies clearly led to outcomes that I don't like?
Yeah, you're completely right. It's one of those situations where you look at it and you go, the first and second wave you're so passionate about, how did it get here? That's all that I can really think about, and I don't know all the answers. But I'm completely aware of where it's led us.
Can we call you maybe a feminist in recovery?
I think some people have joked that I am, yes.
Yeah, well, good for you. At least you're thinking about the fact that being a feminist in modernity must be, or the things that you have an issue with must have come from the policies previously. So I'm glad to see that you're, in your mind at least, pushing back against that.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay. So going around the table, just are you a feminist?
Oh, no, I want to be a housewife.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, feminist. Okay.
No, I feel like men should provide.
Men should provide. Okay.
I'm right in the middle. I grew up with a mom that was a welder, and I also grew up just completely being independent, but I as well think that there is certain things, like you said, that men are better at and perhaps are best fit for. But at the end of the day, I think instead of choosing equality of men and women, I think it's equality of humans, and that's what I see. I don't think that it's necessarily that one man is better than the woman, nor should solely men provide. I think just humans should provide for themselves. And if it's in a relationship or any other dynamics, so be it. But I think we need to think of everything as humans, especially with all the transitions.
Well, how many, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I just said just including all the transitions that are being made, especially with sexuality and sexual identification. I think at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And with that being said, equality is the goal at the end of the day. We all want to go somewhere. We all want to be somewhere, if it's heaven or hell, whatever it may be. Equality.
Yeah, when you say that we're all humans, I mean, that's obviously true that we're all human beings, but wouldn't you say that human beings still are broken into categories for a reason? Like female is a category, male is a category, and those categories are necessary for us to even have conversations where we can break down what the human experience and the ontological nature of humanity is, right?
Absolutely. I think we obviously are in those categories for that set net reason of either providing more children, providing something of sorts. For men, it's more so that seed and all that such. I think at the end of the day, the way that I look at things is because of the advantages and the changes that we've made in present day, that regardless of having a partner or not, or having a relationship or family to even depend on, one should still be independent of themselves and be able to rely on themselves and try to prosper as best as they possibly can. I don't think it's necessarily men over women, women over men, none of that crap. I think it's really just a fight of insecurity.
But if humanity is broken and down into these categories like male and female, which it clearly is, the reason that they're broken down is because there's a different nature to both of those. There's a different nature to males than there are to females, right? They're not interchangeable widgets. You would agree that that's true, wouldn't you?
Completely.
Yeah, so if they're not, then when we have these conversations, just kind of saying something like, well, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, doesn't really mean anything, because we really have to narrow in on what these different categories are so that we can have a discussion about what their preferences are and how they relate to each other. I mean, do you agree with that?
I do agree. I'm just simply stating my position, just what I've seen and what I've grown up with, and that's all it really was. It wasn't necessarily coming down to that cross of we are human beings. I'm just stating the obvious, and I'm also stating that I fall along both lines.
Okay.
Jeff, what about you? Are you a feminist?
No, not at all. I love women a lot. I'm very pro-women. I grew up in a house full of women. I've got 3 sisters, a mom. I'm a very pro-woman.
Okay,
I am
pro-woman.
Anti-feminist ideologies. A lot of rage in there. A lot of revenge pursuit. A lot of simple ideas. Kind of like what he said, like, at the end of the day, we're all people, which is beautiful. And that's all you meant, which is what you meant. Oh, we got somebody.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.
Grid One, thank you, man. Good to
We
see
are
you.
at a point men pretending to be women are voted better women than real women, and feminists cheer them on. Feminism has failed you. How can the patriarchy help you today?
Wow.
Isn't it kind of dope for the patriarchy, though, that men are better at being women than women?
Wow.
Right? That's like men are women
What,
of the
like
year.
in sport? Yeah.
Definitely in sports.
Better at
That's all we got.
Sports, yeah.
Destroying
Big.
you guys in women's
Hey,
sports.
we're just bigger than you. That's it. It's
know.
unfair.
I think I
know.
might even be able to become an Olympic gold
For
medalist
sure you
if I
would.
start
Yeah.
competing.
You'd be
against-
cheating.
And you would be Woman of the Year, and you'd be cheered on, and Bud Light would love you.
What I was saying, though, is that
Dope. Sign me up. Get me
Yeah.
my sponsorship. I actually did a sponsorship with Budweiser like 10 years
They
ago.
knew you were transitioning.
in a minute. Or it's been a minute, rather. What's up?
I don't think people, words don't matter anymore, which is very flustering to me. So someone will say, like, I'm a radical feminist, but I think this, and you go, well, then you're not the thing. You're using a thing that you aren't. And so people say, oh, well, I'm a Muslim, but don't pretend like you know what Muslims are. Here's what I am when I say I'm a Muslim. It's like, well, they have a book, and you're not subscribing to the things that are in the book that make us believe a thing is what it's labeled. So I think a lot of this happens where it's like, I'm very pro-women, and I love them, and I want them to be protected, and I want them to be hurt, and I want them to be treated good by everyone and not hassled. But I also don't think men are pieces of trash for, walking down the same side of the street as them, like late in New York or something, like making them nervous. Like, there's just so many things that I think we lost sight of, like what we call things.
There's a lot of victim mentality.
It's
I think
annoying.
That's what you're saying.
Just be the thing you say you are, and don't if you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I totally understand. I totally agree, 100%. I think that we are kind of at a time now where there's a label for everything. So people are very quick to say it's hard to have nuanced opinions because they don't have any label. So when you do say, like, for example, like I said, like I have a lot of radical feminism beliefs, especially with, like we were discussing with modern femininity, like 100% I do. But then it's like, well, what category is that? It's like how do you characterize nuanced opinions?
Because we're trying to figure things out. So when you
Well,
say
you
that
would
you're
say,
in a
you say that
group,
nuance is a category, right?
Can you say that again? Sorry.
You would say nuance is a category, wouldn't you?
1,000%. I
Well,
wish
Well,
there
then
was.
that's how you would categorize a nuansed opinion, as being nuanced. So
Then we
if you're
should probably start
saying, though,
saying
that
that.
you have a nuanced opinion, you should tell us what the nuance is in the opinion, and then we could agree with it or disagree with it.
I think
say something?
that's exactly what I did. Go ahead.
I think that we get we get so caught up with like this one person and what they're doing to this specific thing. It's like I really don't care about women's sports that much. I don't care at all. And if that makes them happy, that makes them happy. If people want to say different words than I say, that's fine. If I hate the words they say, I can just not hang out with them.
wait,
Right.
so hold on. What about women's? You said you don't care about women's sports.
Yeah, so I don't care if there's trans people in women's sports. If they're happy, I don't care.
So you don't care about the biological females and women that they're competing against?
If they care, that's cool for them, and they can advocate for themselves.
And they do.
But, like, I'm just like, I don't need to be part of any of that conversation. And I think a lot of people that
donated
Hold on
$200
just a sec, but we'll let you
to the
we'll get your
feminist
point
in the
in.
back. A side effect of feminism is genital warts. You could put a mirror up to your snatch on a Monday and count 7 warts. Tuesday 12, Thursday 33,
Every show, Jay
Friday
Butler.
23, Saturday
Good to
78.
see you, man. So I just some context. Some context for you guys. Jay Butler, every single show, he's a urologist in Nevada, Las Vegas. So he sees a lot of peen. And he every show he sends a chat about herpes.
I love that. Thank
That's
you.
his
Spreading awareness.
shtick. That's his thing, guys. If you're in what's the county called? It's in Vegas. What's it called? What's the county called?
I don't know.
It's shit. Anybody in the chat? What's the county for Vegas?
Chat, please.
Anybody?
For him, please.
It's Clark County, I think. Is it Clark County or is it? I'm trying to think of it.
Clark. Yeah, Clark County.
If you're in Clark County, Jay Butler, just search urologist Jay Butler. Imagine
Yeah.
if that's actually his. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
But things exist outside of your interest, just
Wait.
because you don't care about female sports.
Henderson, was it Henderson? Clark County. Go ahead.
Right.
Go ahead with your point.
I do agree with. What were you saying earlier? You were saying there's labels aren't specific enough. Labels aren't helpful.
Yeah.
So
Pretty much.
when he's calling me a feminist, that's a really broad thing.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Word. Well,
Yeah, but that's why we're asking a series of inquiries so that we can narrow down
Right.
the thing, so we can figure out what you believe, so we don't straw man what you believe.
Right. Categories are important.
Responding in the chat.
Yeah.
Okay?
Word.
okay. Well, so the reason I went around the table on this is because, so you consider yourself a feminist, correct? So you said that you don't think women should work. Now, I'd like you to perhaps go into that, why you think that, what do you mean by that? But on the surface, it strikes me as something that's a bit antithetical to the aims and goals of feminism. So do you care to elaborate on you thinking women should not work?
That's a little bit, that's also like not very nuanced. It's more like women should obviously be able to work, but I don't think they should have to. I don't think it's like, I think it's on a personal level. I think that I shouldn't have to work and I don't want to work. But what the camera guy was saying about, sorry, what the camera guy was saying about the definition, like I believe in that definition, but that doesn't mean that I don't think that like traditional values are bad. I just think everyone should be able to choose, and feminism is being able to choose to do that.
So feminism is the being able to have the choice of, as a woman, being able to work, but also not like.
Well, that's
Yeah.
second.
Men don't. You do realize men don't have that choice. Like men don't have the option of, like the fallback of, okay, I'm just gonna find a wealthy woman to take care of me.
Right, and they shouldn't. They're providers.
They could?
Men are providers.
Do you
right.
think
Like a
comparing-
radical feminist over here.
Well, then what do we get for all the
It's
providers?
insane.
They
Wait.
don't know what's so insane.
Huh?
Because we're talking about feminism.
Yeah.
And then you guys are saying things that aren't feminist at all. So that's just puzzling, is all.
Well, I already explained what of my beliefs would be categorized as radical feminism. We already went through that. I don't know if you were present.
I
I
was
think you were waiting
present.
for your next like comedian joke to
No,
pull
I
out.
haven't been trying to be
But what
funny
I'm
at all.
trying
I've been
to
talking to you
say-
like grown-ups.
No, yeah, I know you're 80, and I'm like trying to like talk to you.
Okay,
you know
Well,
what I
that's.
mean?
I mean, that's a bit insulting to.
Yeah.
Call
No,
him
I
a-
haven't-
Excuse me, he's 40.
Yeah, I'm 40.
40, your experience, like I went through it with radical feminism, like what.
So you
what
don't want
parts?
us to use your stupidity against you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually the position. The position would be, if you're calling him old and experienced, you're saying that he's just too smart for you and you can't hold a conversation. Is that what you're actually trying to say?
Yes,
Let's
that has to be.
I didn't feel like I was being insulting. I was just talking.
I don't think you were being insulting either.
Oh, you don't feel like you were insulted, or you don't?
Oh, I don't feel like I was being insulting and
I
asking
don't
about
think you were being insulted.
I'm curious.
He's like one of the most polite male
Curious what
guests
you think.
we've had.
Just.
I know you guys are loving each other. I see it.
Wait,
I do
what?
find Brian
You
to be
guys-
great, but I was
What?
saying that I'm going to ask you questions on the things you guys ask. That's all. I
1000%.
don't want you to think I'm attacking you.
Yeah, but you're like 80.
Yeah,
Right?
I know.
So
I
how
guess
dare you
my
ask
age
a
just
question?
came into
You're
it
like
already.
80.
Has
You might
Social
make them
Security
look
kicked
foolish
in?
Not
by
yet.
using your own worldview
I
against
could
them. That
use
would
it.
be insane.
But that's not fair to like
It's a little mean.
references. I don't see how his age is kind of relevant here. And he looks like he's early 30s.
Doing pretty good for
Fast,
40, I
he's a
think.
young- he's a
All
good
right.
looking guy.
LA,
Yeah,
very
Because
like
he hasn't had any girlfriends.
it's
No kids.
That's what's kept you young.
Kids are one of the greatest things in the world, but they do age you like a president. My friend just had a kid, and he looks like shit. It's only been 2 years, and I was like, "What happened?" He goes, "Kids don't let me sleep." And I go,
There you
"Oh."
go.
But no, but besides the way I look or me being old, I was just suggesting that he went around and said, "Who's a feminist and who's not?" And he's asking follow-up questions about feminism, and I'm not hearing anything that's feminist. In fact, wildly conservative values. So in my mind, I said, "This is insane," because what I'm hearing doesn't fit into a category of what we're talking. Is all I'm saying.
well, we didn't get into where I would think that radical feminism would be like included in conversation. We can totally go down that route, but you're the moderator, and
Well,
I would never
I'm more
dictate a
curious in getting a
conversation.
better understanding of. I don't think women should work.
You were talking about how women have a fallback all the time, but men don't have a fallback. They're
Correct.
forced to work. Women kind of need a fallback, like, because I mean that's like why I think women should be able to work, but why I think they like shouldn't have to is because like if you're a woman and if you're married to someone, even if you're married forever, if that person hits you one day and they're providing for you, and then you have to get away from them, you don't have that providing anymore. You need to get away, and now what do you have? Nothing.
Well, when you say that women shouldn't have to work, right, you would agree that right now women don't have to work, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yes.
Yes, you agree that women right now shouldn't or don't have to work. So what you're really doing is putting in the mandate that you would prefer that they have the option to work.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. I just wanted to clarify this. So your position is that your preference is that if women want to work, they should be able to.
Like I would say,
Okay.
like for my own lifestyle, like I would prefer something like what you're talking about. But I don't think that everyone else should be forced to do what I want to do.
I would prefer to just do whatever I want all the time and have another grown-up pay for all my things.
You get
we
it.
would all love that.
Yes.
That's insane because like that's not real. I mean, some people have that luxury, but it's pretty tough.
I think
So well, here's the follow-up is, do you think anyone should have to work? Or just that
No.
women shouldn't have to work?
I don't think. I mean, ideally, like something like the way that we're working. Like everyone's working like a 5-hour work week, and we've been doing that for so long. Even though the development of
wish it was
technology
only
has
5
made it
hours.
so that the same amount of work that was done in a week like 200 years ago can now be done by like that with a robot. So we should all be hanging out, but it doesn't work like that. So I should get to hang out.
That doesn't really answer the question. That's your preference for what like your utopian society would be. But what I'm asking is, should anybody have to work, or should only women not have to work?
Well, someone has to work.
Ah.
There
Not
it is.
me.
Yeah, as long as it's someone else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Yeah, that
Got
makes
it.
sense.
Did you have anything more on that, Andrew? Or
Yeah, so just kind of push in a little bit, you realize that basically what you're advocating for there is complete and total selfishness, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
oh, she's honest. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
she's
for the-
honest. I mean, I can't take it anywhere from there, right? I mean, if you say, yes, I'm selfish, okay, I can at least deal with that.